Well, greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. Today we're talking about the Firefox Better Web. This was a article that just came out. Actually, I had this. This is like one of the only privacy news items that I had, so we probably won't have privacy news because of other events in the news going on. But we are going to have a weekly news roundup. I just don't know what it's going to look like yet. It's just going to be weird for until all this stuff blows over. So. Just be aware of that. We will be having our news roundup. But how's everybody doing today?
Good.
I'm fine.
No kung flu here.
All right,
No.
there you go. There you go. Yeah, we did. My prediction was right. We did get our first cases here this week. I called it. Maybe I'll call the rest of this too. Tech will not be jumped in here. He might pop up here in the chat, but he will not be joining live. And I haven't seen anything from Vince or Pizza Loving Nerd. I'm not sure. Is Pizza Loving Nerd still alive?
I don't know. I haven't seen him either in a while.
I know.
Although I
know.
don't check Discord very often.
Yeah,
he
popped in. I think he popped in near the end of the stream yesterday, so I don't know. He might. Let me make sure the supporter link's over there. We are monitoring comments on Discord over on the live chat section. How is everybody doing in the comments? We have a couple people going back and forth, me and Moonbase Alpha. Guys, this world's getting so crazy. I have been spending my evenings on Mars, so at least I can go out and do something social with the other space aliens up there. Moonbase Alpha Grays, he's just staying on the Moonbase. I feel sorry for him, though. The Moonbase Alpha it's not the greatest place in the world. I mean, unless there's improvements. I don't know. The star that Phineas and Ferb own, I don't know which star that one happens to be. I've only seen a few episodes of Phineas and Ferb. All right, let's see. Andrea Alt, kid I mentored used to really like it, so I caught it a couple times. Between that and Adventure Time, I think it was a toss-up for me which caused your brain cells to melt faster, Adventure Time or Dora the Explorer. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Goodness.
Now the thing that all little kids watch is Peppa Pig.
Oh
yeah.
I think I've seen some of that. What's the one with? What's the little tiger?
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what that's called.
I lost track after SpongeBob.
Other nieces like what's the vampire one? Is that Vampirina, I think?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yeah, it's like a cartoon show, and it's like Dracula's daughter or something is the main character. So.
Oh my god, it's just bringing me back a whole lot of memories right now.
Yeah. Hello, Rosemary McLeod. Greetings. All right, guys, an update on the science fiction book. It was supposed to go out to the editor today. I busted through the quarantine, got to the post office, and realized I forgot my editor's address in my desk, and so. Hopefully we'll go tomorrow. But I am going to do the first ever live stream on Writing Done Right tomorrow afternoon. I'm probably going to target around 2:00 or so. We are going to be starting with just a document on LibreOffice. We're going to be using Sigil, and the stream will not end until I have a completely finished ebook. And so the ebook for that will be done. It's not going to be ready for distribution out to the supporters quite yet, just because we need to get the edits back. But this is the stage I start doing the edits, and I start doing the audiobook. Oh, I hate audiobook production. So I might be in a bad mood for a month or two. Oh, yeah. I mean, people love the audiobook, so I'm going to do the audiobook. I'm going to do a good job on the audiobook. I just hate audiobook production. It is like the most tedious stuff you've ever done in your life.
Just open the book and start reading and record it.
Oh, Dan, it's not that easy.
It sounds that easy when I'm listening to them.
Oh, it is not that easy. Oh, it takes if the audio book is like a 15-hour book, it probably takes 45 hours to produce that thing. So just be aware. Robot Gamer, excuse me. Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. That's the one. That's the one.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yep. Who is Tom? I am Tom. I am also a space alien, so beware of that. Mohammed Hamid, the regular show. The regular show? I'd rather eat dog and cat hair than watch Peppa Pig. I'm with you. Boo. Spent my self-quarantine by discovering Gopher and writing my Gopher hole. What's Gopher?
Oh, it's another like protocol. So instead of
He's back from
HTTPS,
quarantine.
Oh
He's
yeah,
back from
Gopher's a
quarantine.
terminal
yeah,
web browser.
yeah, it's a different protocol, and it
Oh,
was
that's
supposed
right.
to,
That's right. I
yeah.
remember. I remember that. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and dive on into this. So this is an article. Like I said, I found this. I found this article here with in my news. So this is like the only representative that we had from the like the privacy section of news. It was interesting news. So well, I wanted to kind of talk about this in the whole scope of web advertising, things like this. So, of course, on my properties, I throw some Google ads up there. I know I'm of the devil, but the same token is, hey, you got to do something to pay the bills, right? Particularly since, you know, people aren't really working right now. So the best thing you can do is, hey, look at an ad. Help support it. Now, the problem that we have with ads is not that websites run ads, it's that websites run the most absolutely annoying, atrocious, stupid, moronic ways of running ads. Like, if I click on your website to read an article, why in the hell are you bombarding me with pop-up, auto-playing, excessively loud videos and flashing stuff all over the screen that I can't actually... Do you want me to read this website? Or do you just want me to sit here and get ADD and go into like and a Twitch thing, whatever. The thing is if I'm clicking on your website, I'm clicking on your website because I want to see what you see. So when you run appropriate ads, I have zero problem with appropriate ads. The problem is almost nobody knows how to do appropriate ads. Okay? Like nobody knows how to do appropriate ads. And so there's this fight and this push to look for better ways of doing ads. Now, of course, the other thing that is like this is the Brave browser. And if you follow my channel for a while, you know I've never been a fan of the Brave browser, not because I think the browser is bad, but I'm a little leery of the company behind it. I think I'm in the process of reevaluating everything and probably just taking a change of stance because the fact is the browser is good. But they've done a very similar model to what Firefox is doing here, albeit they're going about it in slightly different ways. And so I kind of want to talk about both of these. So did you guys get a chance to read this article or dig into any of this at all?
I didn't
Yes,
read
I
it, but
did.
I have
Wow.
some thoughts on it because I have I remember back in 2017 when Firefox Quantum was like in beta, they said something about this. And so I have some stuff to add on about that.
So before we dive into that, just to let people know, Scroll is a subscription service that when you buy the subscription service, then the website that also works with Scroll will detect you're using Scroll and will not push any ads to you and then will share it. So it's basically a way that you can purchase a subscription to help support the sites you visit the most. That's basically what it is. Does anyone else, Quint, if you got stuff, let's go ahead and start with you, Quint. What was your thoughts? You want to start here?
I remember back in, I think it was like late 2017, right when Firefox Quantum was still in beta, they had I think it was actually before beta. There was an article that Mozilla put out that was talking about their plans for the new Firefox. And one of the things they said they were interested in looking into was a paid version of Firefox that offered a subscription so that you wouldn't have ads, and it would also give you some privacy tools. That's exactly what this is, like 3 years later.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So
it took them a while.
Yeah.
It took them a while to do it. I thought that they had just forgotten about it and not decided to do it because that was only like a thought then, but it took a while for them to do it. Now they actually have it.
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly. In fact, I probably mentioned some of that. Would you want to pay for it? Would you not want to pay for it? Anyone else want to jump in before we dig into any of this here?
So of course that the idea of essentially getting money or either paying for money to not see ads, well, Brave is very similar to that, but Firefox is doing it in a different way that I think is better than what Brave is doing, because you're actually getting advertisements, but then you're actually paying with real money instead of just cryptocurrency that kind of is like it can kind of crash and everything, so it's not too stable. Well, Firefox would actually make more sense into doing that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I have another thing to add if Dan doesn't have anything to add.
Yeah, Dan, want to add anything?
Well, I canceled my TV service because I didn't want to watch ads. I'm not going to pay somebody because I don't want to watch ads. I mean, it's kind of nuts. It really is. And I'm already about this far of doing away with Mozilla products altogether because they've made them so they're not even portable for distro hopping. Your profile is no longer easily transferred from one distro to another and picked up by another version of a Firefox browser or even Thunderbird Mail.
I have not experienced that yet, but I definitely want to poke and prod around with that a little bit more.
I've experienced it. I actually took a screenshot. I don't know if I still have it. When one of the other computers I have, I was moving the profile over, and it said you have to use sync.
Interesting. Maybe it's something that's new. I'm trying to think. The last time I moved something over was when I rebuilt my work computer on Linux Mint 19. That was about 2 or 3 months ago now.
They started this with Thunderbird too. Now for me to go from like one Debian type distro to another, I have to go several versions back of Thunderbird to like 57, uninstall what's there, install 57, then it'll take my email and all my links and servers and all that junk I'm hooked to, and then let it update to get back to the newer version.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a try. I'm going to build out something with Linux Mint Debian Edition 4. I'm going to give that a try on that.
I'm using that right now.
That might work. What's that?
I'm using that right now.
Did you run into that same problem doing that?
Yes, I did. Going directly from...
I'm going to install Linux Mint Debian Edition 4 as soon as I get a chance. Then I'm going to take my profiles for both Thunderbird and Firefox off of my Arch computer and transfer them over and see if I can get them to work. That's what I'm going to do.
So yeah, the other thing I had to add was I like how instead of Brave, how this is all built into the browser, it's an extension that you install. So it's completely optional and it won't nag you about it. Whereas Brave, it's an
I'm going to disagree on the point about nagging because they've started to nag you about installing recommended extensions in Firefox, which is irritating to no end. But anyway, proceed.
I forgot about that. I forgot that existed. I turned it off, so I forgot that
I did too the first time I saw it.
But with Brave, the thing is that how they have that whole cryptocurrency thing where you have to use... There's only one wallet that it works with. It's this proprietary cryptocurrency. And people can still do it even if you haven't, as a creator, haven't signed up for it.
Yeah. That's okay. So, of course, this we've already addressed a lot of the issues. Firefox is doing a couple weird things. So, scroll is the ability that you can pay to make sure the sites you visit the most do get paid. I'm sort of behind that. I mean, it's one thing to not use ad blockers and just not support and just treat all the content for these sites that do need to pay their bills. But the fact is, I like turning off ad blockers or I like turning off certain ad networks as long as they can play nice. The fact is, though, is that many of them are not playing nice. So, like, for example... When I'm doing my writing, book authoring, the best place to get fonts is called Font Squirrel, which is an ad-supported site. And so I'm like, I like this site a lot. I'm going to go on, this is on my other computer where I run ad blockers. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to turn off the ad blocker for this website because I use the site and I think that it's beneficial and I would like them to get money. What did it do? Their website crashed my computer because of how many ads they were running. I'm like, okay, screw you. You're not getting anything then. Because like Dan, I'm not paying a subscription service for that. If your site plays appropriate ads, I have no problem with you having a banner ad in something. I might even be interested in clicking it and buying the product. I'm okay with that.
If they put it in a little box off to the side from the text where it isn't like distracting you from what your primary purpose, I have no problems with them kind of ads. It's the ones that pop up and there's a box in the middle of your screen and it says, try this, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, darken the screen, autoplay a video behind all of that. You know, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
And so this tries to solve that problem by, and honestly, from the morality standpoint, I think this solves the problem better than most other things. It's optional, as Quint said. You just use it through an extension. You're still paying money, and those sites that are working with Scroll are still receiving the money. Instead of them loading up annoying ads, they're just instead loading up, just giving you hopefully a better, cleaner experience. Now, I have not used it to determine if it's truly a better, cleaner experience. So it is $5 per month. Right now, during this beta test in the United States, it's $2.50 per month. And this goes directly to publishers and writers. In early tests, they found at least 40% more money than they would have from showing ads, which is true. Ads do not make a lot. I have put ads on websites going back over 10 years. I am almost, after 10 years, almost to the threshold to get a payout from Google on ads. That's how bad ads are. So this is actually a way that a company could make more money on it. Go ahead, Quint.
I thought you got like payouts each month.
Oh, that's from YouTube. Yeah, YouTube, because there's so many video views on YouTube. I do get payouts from YouTube. Yes, I don't get payouts from the ad network. I actually run them on 2 separate AdSense accounts.
Yeah, a lot of people look at ads and stuff like that, and they say, "Wow, that'd be really cool to have." And they click on it, and they buy it, and they get it home, and within 2 weeks, they're tired of it, or they don't need it no more. And as you get older, you start to think differently. Like if I see an ad or get an ad shoved in my face, yeah, I may look at it or I may not, but I will actually take a day or two before I actually purchase this and think, is it something that I really need, or am I just going to use it and throw it away?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Here's a concern that I have with this, especially since it's all extensions. First and foremost, I'm not a huge fan of extensions, okay? If you run around and say WordPress or Joomla or whatever are bad, no, they're not. It's the plugins and extensions you add that are bad. This is the concern I have with GNOME. GNOME by itself is just fine. But to get any functionality in GNOME that you need, you have to be installing third-party extensions, and sections. I've been working with WordPress as an expert in that field for 10 years. I'll tell you, you start adding extensions to your WordPress site, you have more than quadrupled the surface for vulnerabilities through extensions. I don't like extensions on web browsers, on websites, on desktop environments, or nothing. I want to see that core functionality built into it, baby. And that's the concern I have. It's through an extension. The next concern I have is they're like, okay, go ahead, Quint.
I personally don't mind extensions in browsers and extensions on GNOME because I have both, and I make sure the extensions are from their trusted source. Like, I make sure that the ad blocker I'm using is the legitimate one, and I make sure that whatever I'm using on the desktop environment is legitimate. I don't really install extensions that are not from the App Store on GNOME because all the ones on the App Store are tested. But I am with you totally on the WordPress thing because I worked on a WordPress site for a church that we have a family friend who preaches at, and he wanted to put some like YouTube videos of his sermons on there. And the first thing I do is he gives me access to the site, which I guess the web developer gave me access to the site. And the first thing I noticed when I looked in there is there were 40 extensions installed and only like 20 were enabled. So there was like 20 extensions that were like completely disabled and just sitting there.
Yep. Oh boy. Yeah, that was first point. Second, I guess, is how can we be sure that Mozilla or Scroll or these other companies are faithfully blocking all this data tracking, do I trust that a extension on top of the browser is going to do a good job of protecting my privacy from web crawlers because I'm paying them money? It's just not feeding into this privacy is a luxury of the rich mentality. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah. So I can start. So I guess the biggest problem with the internet in general is how, as a society, we decided long ago when the internet was brand new that we would rather be getting everything for free instead of paying for things. And this is where the internet is now. Everything is technically free, but I think that most people are getting more aware about it, that it's not really free and they're taking data away from you in exchange for you for using their service and stuff. So the thing is that it's great to pay for stuff, but we got into the point that we're far beyond what what the internet was like maybe a decade ago. Like, especially with JavaScript and technology, the ad tracking and everything is way more sophisticated than it was a decade ago, and I noticed that, and it's more difficult to get out of it.
It's almost like legal hacking.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think too.
You're taking me back to a time, because I remember when the internet was fresh and brand new. And let me keep in mind, nothing's changed. You still have to pay an internet service provider, except now you're paying them to snitch on everything you do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Change your DNS, people.
Yeah, that's right. Well, if that's not effective, like even though you pay for not having ads and maybe Firefox make sure that your data is protected, then you still got to worry about your internet service provider and all the websites that are not part of that program in the first place. So it's not really effective in order to actually stop tracking or anything like that. It's just for helping, yeah.
And of course, going back to the whole internet service provider tracking you thing, now there's all these, now you see all sorts of advertisements for VPNs that are supposed to protect your privacy, and you need to leave your VPN on all the time.
Yeah, which is not necessarily good advice.
I know one of the networking channels I watch, he recommends VPNs. He says you should be using a VPN, blah, blah, blah. And he has all sorts of tutorials on how to install the VPN on your router so that everything that goes from your router goes through the VPN.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with that is you're just kicking the privacy down. Sure, your ISP can't see what you're doing, but the VPN provider can. Okay, and then so you say the same about Firefox DOH. Oh, your ISP can't see what you're doing. It's supposed to solve the problem, but the challenge is nothing I'm custom doing on my network is functional either.
I still think the best way is to change your DNS from your ISPs. Like I use Cloudflare's DNS, which they say they don't keep logs and stuff, which I do believe it to a point, but I'm still careful.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I generally use, if I'm going to use a different DNS, I usually use Quad 9 just because it's smaller and, smaller equals better for me for the most part. So,
but really,
Cloudflare is fast.
Yeah. I've never had speed issues with Quad 9.
Yeah.
But one of the things I have to do when I get a spare moment is I'm going to install a VPN. We're going to update the create your own self-home VPN tutorial. We're going to create a VPN on the same Raspberry Pi with the Pi-hole. So then in theory, I then should be able to use Pi-hole to block everything, use Quad 9 as my DNS servers, and set up a VPN so I can, anywhere I'm at, I can log back into my network, bypass my ISP's DNS, and use Pi-hole for my home network while accessing my network servers.
Yeah. So you're going to create a VP hole.
Well, yeah. I mean, I already have a VPN, and I already have to have the Pi-hole and two separate things. I just want to combine them together.
Do you use a Pi VPN for your VPN on the Raspberry Pi? It's like a one-click
Yeah.
I might. I'll look at the options. I think
Yeah.
I just used. I forget the one I used when I did the other VPN tutorial, but we'll do that. And then
Yeah.
this got me to think:
Yeah.
what if we instead of do this? What if I just pick up like a Linode server or something? Just create a Pi-hole and a VPN instance on that, and just route everything through that. That would be
Yeah.
an interesting thing because it also doesn't have to be connected to my, to my
Yeah.
house because I don't like opening up the ports to access the internet into
Yeah.
my office
Yeah.
if I don't have to. So
I do. I like Pi-holes, or not Pi-hole. PiVPN is the one I use, and it only requires just a one-click script that you just paste in, and it walks you through a simple installation, and you
Cool.
have an open VPN server.
nice.
If you guys could just listen to yourself of all the crap you got to actually do just to use the internet. It sounds ludicrous.
You don't
when
have
sit here.
to. It's just if you want to privately.
Yes.
Yes.
It sounds really ludicrous from somebody out here listening to it.
Yeah, it's
I guess it's just explaining it in very simple steps. First, use multiple computers. If you only have one computer for everything, it's not a good idea at all. You need to separate all of your different things, all right? That's the first step. Second, you need to have protections for each of your computer in order to make sure that it's like JavaScript, which runs on your computer, is blocked. Just making sure that you change your identity when you're going on the internet. Then even still, you need to change a whole bunch of stuff. Like even your MAC address can be used for tracking and knowing the exact computer that you're accessing the internet,
Yeah.
which is why it's good to have different computers and stuff.
Yeah, you can also though get a applications that will scramble your MAC address, which is a good thing to do. Let's jump back onto the Firefox thing. So, are you guys a customer of this or not a customer of this? Would you pay $2.50? So I guess it's going to be $5 a month. Would you pay $5 a month to use the internet with fewer ads, get allegedly a better experience, and still allow the publishers of that stuff to get paid? Yes or no? What do you guys think?
I would not. Since I still don't trust it because it's just a browser extension.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And plus, I use uBlock Oregon is the specific ad blocker I use, and I support the creators that I want to support, like Tom.
They may not allow you to use uBlock Origin anymore with Firefox. They may disconnect the handles that hook that up and make it work.
That's possible.
Yeah, probably. But really, it's just getting all those extensions. But even then, you need to change how your operating system works too. So if you're on Linux, for example, your host script that you actually made in order to block a whole bunch of ads and everything, that's a good way to just stop everything. Like having different layers of security. Because if you only have an extension and you think that it will protect you when you're paying Firefox, it's not enough. That's the biggest problem. The technology has come so far that it's very difficult to keep completely private. You need multiple things in order to get it up and running and making sure that everything is secure, which really.
Let's also add this extension. You can't get this for Chrome as well. So there are other web browsers this will work with. Just for clarity for anybody interested. But at the same token, the thing is there. But we didn't hear from you, World of Linux. Are you a customer? Yes or no?
No. First, I'm already paying for a lot of monthly subscriptions. So if I would be adding that on top, like I'm actually a supporter, right? And then there's a bunch of other stuff. I'm actually paying for Discord too. And then got some other things. So really, it
adds up, don't it?
Yeah, it really adds up a lot. It's like I have to make sure that I keep a monthly bill and make sure I don't go over it, which is quite difficult, especially with there's a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah. But definitely supporting the creators you like the most. Go ahead, Twint.
Yeah. I hate spending money. I do not like spending money on things.
I'm with you. Yeah.
So I'll buy something if I really want it, but then the only monthly subscriptions that I pay for are my is my server, which is like $5 a month. It's not very expensive, and this being a supporter. That's it.
Yeah.
And we thank you guys for your support as well.
Yeah.
Dan, you a customer? Yeah, I think we already know your answer, Dan. Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a customer either. So Brave is doing something similar. So
With
what Brave
cryptocurrency.
does, yeah, they do it through a cryptocurrency system, and theirs though is a little bit. This one does not have quite as many ethics as Firefox's. At least in Firefox's plan, the publishers get some money. In this one, the publishers only get the money if you bow to the Gestapo and open up the specific cryptocurrency on the specific server they want you to, and they'll come over like a carrot. We got $100 for you. Sign up. Oh yeah, baby. And if you say no to that, then you don't get nothing. But they're going to block ads either way. So they're going to block ads from the publisher, but then give the publisher money based on page views only if they agree to their terms. Again, it's definitely an interesting way of going about it, but I'm not sure it quite has necessarily what I'm looking for in terms of that. I can say the browser itself does exactly what it advertises to do, and that it blocks a lot of the tracking crap, which means that it is it does mean that it is a good web browser. It's a fast web browser because it's blocking all those tracking stuff in the background. You do have the option, if you're choosing to use the crypto coin currency, you do have the option to select any website that you want and say, hey, this is the company that I would like to support, as long as those people are going in and choosing to accept the terms of working with Brave. And so they are, I'm unclear about this one. I believe there is a certain pool that goes into it at one hand. They were working on a couple different things. And one of the reasons I've never been a big fan of Brave is because they went out and they raised all their money with a different model than they seemed to bring to the market. And that always makes me a little bit concerned. The model they're working with is pretty good. And I can't remember now, though, if you have to pay in or if you get a certain amount of coins per month that distributes out to the services you have. If anybody can speak to that and clarify that, I forget what the details are now. But so Brave's doing something similar, but there's no middleman. And that's the thing where more of the money would be going to the places you would like to support if you're using Brave. Thoughts on Brave or the whole thing I just said, or corrections?
I don't like the Brave approach. I don't think it's a good approach.
No.
Quint, let's go ahead. Quint, wrap up.
They come up to the publisher and basically say, like you were saying, they come up to the publisher and say, hey, we have $100 for you. Come and get it. But you have to sign up for our specific wallet, use our proprietary currency or cryptocurrency. It just doesn't make much sense. I think if they wanted more people to do it, they would allow people to use their own cryptocurrencies and their own wallets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
I agree.
Thing. That's literally a thing, because technically a cryptocurrency is only something that you make. It's like all software based, which means that they created it and they have full control over it because they know what the code does and what everything is. And the fact that you can't put any other cryptocurrency means that they can just manipulate everything. So honestly, I think it's kind of a ripoff kind of thing, in the sense, because it's very sketchy in how they do things. If they would put other cryptocurrencies, then it would work and it wouldn't be sketchy. But if it's only one cryptocurrency that they're using, which they are, it's something that I wouldn't touch.
Yeah. So, and you can choose to use the Brave browser without doing anything with the cryptocurrency thing. So if you are looking for a browser, I have to completely admit that the Brave browser itself is a very good browser. I just haven't used it because of the principle of that, but it's something I'm considering.
I haven't
considering
used
more.
it. I
Go ahead,
haven't
Ken.
used it on the simple fact that there was so much negative smoke around it when it first came out.
And that was
Yeah,
a concern.
and
So,
some of that
yeah.
smoke is still floating around it.
Yeah, and so one of the things to remember is this. In fact, it disappeared shortly after I raised attention to it. I'm not sure if I had anything to do with that or anybody else. But if you remember that quite dangerous session replay stuff, session replay used to be baked right into Brave browser, which meant at some level, just by using Brave, somebody was tracking everything you were doing in the browser. Because session replay is so intrusive, I block that stuff very explicitly on my networks. Anytime I hear about a new session replay network, I block it. Because that's the stuff that can track, it can track where your cursor is. It can, if you go in and you have session replay on a site, and you just go in and start typing something. So I don't know if there's any form or anything on this site.
Yeah, it can actually get very scary.
Like so if you go in and there's some web form, and I'm typing something in because I'm like, hey, I might want to do this, and then you start reading the stuff and you're like, no, I don't really agree to this. You delete all the stuff. They've already collected that information from you.
Well,
It's already been keystroked and sent back to the company.
Yeah.
That's what session replay does. And that was baked into the Brave browser itself in early iterations. It was then pulled out of it. This was before it switched to the Chromium base. It was pulled out of that. And then eventually they just kind of got rid of that from the old product versions. You'd have to dig through the Internet Archives to find that. So I had some concerns about it because of that. Those things seem to be gone. The browser's had enough of, it's had enough testing in the marketplace that I would say I'm okay using it. I wouldn't use it for the cryptocurrency point at this time, but I'd be okay using it in general as just a general browser. So those are kind of my thoughts on Brave, but they're doing a very similar thing. Go ahead.
One of the other browsers you could use is Dissenter.
Yeah, which is a Chrome fork. So that's based on Chrome. Excuse me, it's a Brave fork. Yeah, so they forked Brave, they took out all the BAT, and they added the Dissenter plugin. That's what Dissenter browser is, which I actually have on my Arch system here. I don't use it much, but I do have it.
Yeah. So, honestly, for web browsers and what Firefox is doing, at least it's an extension, which is better than just a whole nother browser. Because first, if Firefox would make a whole nother browser just for that, it would be a waste of time. Especially with the market share that Firefox is having, and they kind of need to keep that up. So that's why that they even chose to make an extension, because it's just way easier to do that. And apparently they already did that other times, especially with the recommended extensions. So they kind of already have the technology into it. So
yeah. All right. Let's check in on comments. Let's see here. Where'd we leave off? I'm not sure we're going to get to all of them, but we'll see. We'll do the best that we can. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Firefox, better, but also slower than Chrome. Can be. Let's see. We've already talked about Daniel Tiger's neighborhood. We
When
don't
these
want to do that
people are
again.
complaining about their browsers being slow, are they talking about the browser loading pages slow, or opening and closing slow?
I don't really notice any difference between
I
the
don't
browsers.
notice any difference from one browser to another, really.
So let's see. DT, how's it going there? Stuck at home, but at least it can depend on Switch to Linux, put out daily content. Of course.
DT uses Gopher.
There you go. That's right. I'm a machine. Hey, like you guys, there's nothing else going on. And so let's see. Let's see. A lot of hellos, greetings, hi. Hey, high fives. Are you guys social distancing yourself in there? Make sure to social distance yourself in that chat room. I see you're a little bit more. I should go in here and edit the CSS here and just social distance everybody. That'd be fun.
Yeah, the fiber optics is getting a little too close.
That's right. Does a Brave browser do something similar? Yeah, week 2 of quarantine. Not sure what day it is. Guys, okay, would you guys like it if I do a really quick, probably not very good, but make it either free or excessively cheap to do a very brief short story science fiction based on all this craziness?
Oh,
Hmm.
well, it depends.
We'll discuss it when the cameras are off.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do. Let's see. 20 years before the show, Tux Digital asked me if I thought I took bloat memes too far. So as the show started and they mentioned toilet paper, I had to say it. Toilet paper is bloat. I mean, I use the 3 seashells, guys. I mean, really. We know how to use that in alien tech. So, you know. Let's see. Trying to make an easy distro and backup, but having the folder on my desktop, everything I have. Entrance 3 seashells in chat and talks about better, cleaner experience on camera. Well, you know, hey, the 3 seashells is a better, cleaner experience. Come on, guys. Better for the environment too. I don't want Greta Thunberg to stick her finger in me again and go, "How dare you!" I might get the virus because she's in quarantine right now. Let's see. Browser hopping for people who can't make a decision. Yeah, well, I just can't decide which browser to go to next.
Well, you know, I'm still on the Firefox for main browsing. I just froze the updates when they sold it.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, I bet that my Firefox is older.
Yeah.
Let's see what I got. Let's see what I got. Hold on. About Firefox. I'm running version 56. What do you got? Richard Addison's, no offense, but what's an ad? I've never heard of or seen any of these.
Well, I'm using version 2022.
Huh.
2022.
One of the other browsers,
Wait.
Tom,
2020.02.
Wow.
There's another browser that.
It's last month's browser.
Oh, yeah. Mine's from like 6 months ago at least. Maybe longer. All right, Quint.
There's another browser that I've used. It's mainly focused on this new peer-to-peer protocol called DAT. It's called Beaker.
I've not heard of that.
It's a Chromium-based browser. And it works fine for normal browsing, but its main focus is around this peer-to-peer protocol called DAT. That's a new web HTTP, but it works fine for just normal browsing. And I've used it. It's pretty good. It's called Beaker.
Interesting. Sounds good.
Okay, I'm checking it right now to see what it is. It's like
DistroTube's links is serving ads for CompuServe and Prodigy. That's right. It's awesome. You've got mail.
Oh, apparently the only script I'm seeing right now on that website is just theirs, which means that it's good. Because, you know, even the Brave browser, when you go on their website, there are some extra scripts.
Yeah. Jose says it's free if it's free, it's because you are the product. But Michelangelo says, well, you can pay for Norton VPN and they still sell your data. Ooh, touche. Hello, Anna Rita. Greetings.
Beaker.
Nobody's tracking Richard Addison except the kitty. That's right. Where is the kitty? I don't know where the kitty went. Hopefully the kitty shows back up for kitty treats.
The only downside that I would say to Beaker is that it's only packaged on Linux as app images and snaps. There's no native installers.
Well, I'm on Mac OS right now, so there's definitely a package for it or a NAP, which kind of reminds me because Mac by itself kind of uses applications. It's kind of inside a folder, so it's kind of the same idea as app images. So.
Let's see, peer-to-peer streaming. Let's see. Got rid of Facebook 5 years ago, and every once in a while, I Google my name and nothing comes up except some vague results. There you go. Yep. Kyrie Holmes also hates spending money. There you go.
I don't have none to spend, so I don't think about it.
There you go. Yeah. Let's see.
When I do get something comes along and takes it away from me.
Yeah. I ever feel like the middleman? You're just there holding it for the next guy to come and take it.
Yeah.
Chrome also leaks a lot, so it doesn't really matter yet. Can I buy an Egg McMuffin with cryptocurrency? Probably not, but you can make an Egg McMuffin with.
You can in New
it's pretty
York.
easy. Oh, you can in New York. Okay.
They'll take Bitcoins at certain restaurants.
Well, you just need to go to McDonald's in there and go, I got cryptocurrency or I got this dirty cash. Which would you like?
They have
a lot of
phone
places.
apps and stuff like that, and you
Yeah,
negotiate.
I guess in UK they're not accepting cash anymore. This is getting real, people, because frankly,
Yeah.
and I think up there in Canada too. I know Anna Rita could not buy something with cash the other day. So it's like I have heard some intriguing conspiracy theories that this is all what the government's been waiting for to push their cashless society and all these other things.
No, it's unrealistic because even then, if they just remove cash and everything, then there's going to be some sort of thing where the internet shuts down completely, and then everybody's not going to be able to spend like for a few days.
Yeah,
and then the
like what
economy
happened in Europe.
crashes.
Yeah, that happened in Europe once where the
Yeah.
internet goes down and all these people couldn't buy their soy lattes with their cell phone data. Oh, I can't buy my latte. You need cash right now.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like online payments.
Yeah, but what I don't
Stores,
get.
One of the things that's in stores that I don't know if all companies are doing, but if you have a POS terminal in a store, you're required to put that on a separate VLAN of like a separate IP range so that the traffic doesn't get mixed with other traffic and it can't be accessed from the main network. But I don't know how many people do that.
Yeah, probably not a lot of them because that would
I
require
don't, because
having
I don't know what
competent
you're
people.
talking about.
Yeah. So, anyways, I got this $10 bill right here. You know, it's
You may as well just go burn it.
dirty
You know,
stuff.
it's better kindling
but
right
here's
now
the
than
thing.
anything else.
But
Theirs
here's the
are
thing.
made out of plastic. It melts.
Yes. Well, you don't put it inside dryer, but you can definitely disinfect it, right? Because it's
Your
plastic.
money's a lot prettier than our money.
A lot of people say it's monopoly money because of all the colors and everything. It just looks like
It's
monopoly
made
money.
like that, so it's made difficult to counterfeit.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what
unlike us here in the U.S., we just stick our $100 bills in the copier, and then cut them up and then go shopping.
Yeah, it's not that easy though.
Yeah.
There's actually like 30 or 40 security things in a $100 bill.
Yeah.
Let's stream. It must be nice to have some of the latest rigs and judge others. Like what? What are you talking about? I don't know. Hey, I have some pretty low-end crap around here too. I mean, come on. My MacBook back there is from 2014, you know.
I have
actually
a
not a bad
laptop
machine.
in the cabinet over there. Actually, it was the first Linux laptop that I have.
Yeah.
It's 4 gigs of RAM. I think it has a 64 gigabyte eMMC, and I'm trying to think what else. It's an Intel Celeron. It's only like 1.4 gigahertz. It is so slow, even with Linux on it.
Quint, I think this comment's regrets to you for Gregory Marcus. Yeah. He says you're too smart for your own good.
Keep in mind, it's not old. Us people in the old stuff business call it vintage.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I actually really only have one beefy computer that's only used for the YouTube channels. This is a Ryzen 5 1600, and actually the cost of this computer right now is only like $500. All my other stuff is fairly mid to low range. So like my Arch system here, that's just a crappy A8, like it's an 8000 AMD, 6 gigs of RAM. My laptop's just, I mean, it was a floor model 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah.
This computer that I'm on here, it has an Intel Xeon in it, but it's from like 2011. So it's like comparable to like an i5 now, but it still runs pretty well.
Vintage.
Yeah.
Let's see. Fade is saying uninstalling Brave. I wouldn't uninstall Brave if it's working for you. I had some issues with the company. I still do, but I stand by it's a good browser. And frankly, your web browser is like the president of the United States. You vote for whichever one you hate the least. And frankly, there's not a really, really good browser as it is. And so
Safari.
if it's working for you, it's working for you. Keep it. Don't get rid of it. You
The
know?
last good browser, that guy sold it to some company.
Which one was
Safari.
that one?
No,
Oh.
Waterfox.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
What is it? System One is the company,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, System
Yeah.
1.
Now you got System 1 and System 76, so where are all the others?
They're in the process of buying them all out, so they're going to buy out System 76 at the end. It's going to be called System 176. Oh. Let's see. All right. Do not listen to this guy anymore. Which guy? Who? Me? What? What are you doing? Come back. What do you think about Opera? Never a big fan of it. So Opera was really good for a while. It was sold to a Chinese company. For a little bit, it was doing some shady things, like injecting affiliate links into the URLs. Last time I tested it, it did not do that anymore. I'm still a little leery of it, but at the same time, it's just not one I sit there and work with a lot either. So
Opera is still Chromium based, though. They switched to a Chromium base a couple of years ago.
Opera, the home of the Chinese spies. There you go.
Pretty much every browser other than Firefox is based on Chromium now.
Yeah.
This is a bad thing because technically now Google has kind of a monopoly now on the internet and the technology.
What do you mean
Because
now?
everything's Chromium based, right?
Yeah, you got Safari is like the last holdout. We have the Safari base, which is just this weird cryptic. What is this thing? And then you got Firefox
Safari,
base and the Chromium base.
Safari and Chrome are very close. They're both WebKit based. Firefox is the one that's different with Gecko.
Here's the hilarious one with like Firefox. Like Mozilla is involved in a lot of the back-end CSS, like the advanced CSS tricks. Firefox is still the only browser that does not yet support background blur on CSS elements by default. It's hilarious because I went through and got all the protocols from Firefox's own site, like Mozilla's own site, on all the CSS background coding to put into Writing Done Right website. Safari and Chrome and Chromium all work perfectly. Firefox, no, you have to enable the background blur in the about config for some stupid reason. It's like, what?
It does give you a choice, though, is the thing.
Yeah. See, I love the Apple company. In my own opinion, the best Bluetooth speaker is Amazon's new Echo Studio. Hey, Alexa, order unicorn meat. Confirm. Sorry for your new order of unicorn meat, Tyler, but I just had to do it if you bring up an Amazon Echo around here. All right.
I remember a couple years ago there was a device. I think it was called an Echo. It was called an Echo Look, is what it was. It was like Amazon's first device that was not an actual like Alexa thing. And what it would do is it was an Alexa, but it would give you like style recommendations based on what you were wearing. So like you could like show it your clothes, and it would give you like recommendations and things. I think it went away because it's too ridiculous. But that was like in 2017.
I just covered that in the news recently. I mean, it was within a year ago, maybe.
Yeah.
But it was called the Echo Look, is what it was called, if you want to look it up.
But really, everything is getting smart nowadays. Like, there's too many smart devices. And then there's, like, extensions, and then there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Wow, that's a lot of stuff to keep track of. Like, technology is supposed to make our life easier, but it seems, especially with privacy, it actually makes it harder.
Yeah. All right. We're going to go ahead and feed the beast. We're going to feed the beast. So I don't forget. I forgot last week. Everyone reminded me when we closed the stream down. Oh, boy. Ow! That was my finger, cat. Look at that indentation. Kitty, don't eat me.
He's getting aggressive.
He is.
Oh
He's
yeah,
just
my
like-
cat is also getting aggressive for some reason.
he's got the kung flu, man. He's like, this might be the last time I ever get these things. Gimme.
Yeah. But seriously, my cat is also aggressive. So there's something going on, I guess.
Oh, that's all you get, kitty. You just get 3. You know that. You know the rules. You just get your 3.
Here, I'll show you guys the Echo Look. They got rid of it. It doesn't exist
Oh,
anymore.
that's so sad.
But here it is right here.
Echo Look. Wow. It's
Look at the picture. Look at this. Use your voice to capture full-length photos and videos.
what is this?
Yeah, it's crazy.
See, there's what look. Browse your wardrobe and more with your Echo Look app.
Oh god.
Look at style recommendation. Use Style Check for a second opinion on what looks best and why.
Why does Amazon
We
know
think
best?
that you should get this one. It's only $99.95. Did you guys see the reports with all these?
$200.
Yeah, with all these quarantines, the fashion designers, like they don't know what to do. And the reality is the fashion designers themselves are the ones driving all the market for this stuff. That's like, it's like there's style is what they say it is. I mean, sorry
Here,
to
look at
burst
this.
anyone's bubble, but
Alexa, how do I look?
that's right.
Oh boy.
You look
You
like a
guys,
beep.
Echo Look, you can use Alexa to take full-length photos of your daily look by using your voice. Ask Alexa, how do I look? For real-time feedback on your outfit and receive smart, specific, and fun styling advice.
It wasn't AI. It wasn't anything. It went to a background room of a bunch of kind of dirty old guys. Ugh, you look horrible.
I was just thinking the same thing. I didn't want to be the one to say it though.
Hey, I'll say it.
Edit your images in the Echo Look app for clean, shareable photos. Find similar pieces with more like this look.
Oh,
So,
my.
They got rid of this. It doesn't exist anymore because I don't think anybody bought it. You never heard anything about it. But this came out in like 2017.
Wait,
Yeah.
Intel Real Sense? There's
Yeah,
literally
use-
like an Intel logo on it.
Yeah, it uses Intel technology, I guess.
Intel technology to send the video feed live back to a room of Indians somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh
look right
boy!
here.
Now they have
Take a
washing
picture,
machines with
Alexa,
Wi-Fi,
take a
so it can alert you when the laundry is done. Yeah, I'll wait for the ding, or just come back to it later.
Oh, look
Are
at
we
this.
really that lame in our society that we need a phone notification to tell us that the dryer is done spinning?
No, not really. No.
Look at this here, style check. So look, it gives you like a score based on how stuff looks.
But how? Like, oh my god, the interpretation could be so, like just so many different possibilities. Like, depending on what you
And
wear.
you can get like different suggestions on what you can wear. This is just ridiculous. Like, why does anybody need this? And I think it's good that it's now currently unavailable. If
Yeah,
you look at the
maybe
top
they're
here.
finally like, all right, we went a little bit too far with this one.
Yeah.
All right, we're
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and wrap up the live portion here tonight. We are streaming on my other channel tonight. We're gonna be doing we're gonna be continuing on a discussion of like churches in the digital age type stuff over there. So we'll go ahead and do that. So our video stream is called, let me copy the link. Video stream is called Church on Video in Diocese. So 9 o'clock, that's on my other channel. So if you guys want to catch what we're doing over there, that's the Christian channel. So if you are interested in that, come on over in 1 hour for the live stream over there. And we'll see you on that side. So Dan, final thoughts.
I'm about this far of letting Firefox have the axe. All they got to do is pull one more stunt.
Just
and
give
they're
them
done.
the pink slip.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting tired of fighting with software and stuff like that because they keep mutating it all the time.
Yeah. Quint, final words?
I would not recommend this. I think your best bet is just to support who you want to support or run ads.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right. World of Linux. Final thoughts.
So yeah, first I'm a supporter. So that means that even though that I block with a bunch of extensions that I put on all my computers, I'm still supporting you. And I do support some other creators and things like that that I really like. And on YouTube, I usually let the ads go by disabling the ad blocker and stuff. But it just went actually so complicated to be private, and it like ads are so intrusive now, and of course that we are able to block it, but then it's going to mutate to something else, and then we'll have to update. It's like a constant war, and it's just getting so complicated, so we need to head inside the right direction, which I'm not sure if the internet is doing that good in that part. It seems to be heading a direction that's not good. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I'm not a customer. I think I think that what they're trying to do is good and noble. And I think it's going to have some uses. It needs to be refined out. But I'm not a customer.
Oh,
I'd rather it if publishers just did sane ads to begin with. That when I go onto your website, I'm going onto your website to read an article. And if your ads are invading me reading your article, that's the problem.
yeah. Just get more features. Not just not showing ads, but I think especially if we're paying, you should just be putting more. Because in software development, it's kind of really cheap, so you could just have a bunch. That extension could do way more than just that.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
They have to refine it. Of course, it's still beta. I'm saying that it should add a bunch of more things to make it more private, and that it works really well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
My final thing I'll say too is tomorrow I'm targeting 2:00 Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to do the first ever live stream on my Writing Done Right YouTube channel. So this is actually dedicated to teaching authors how to produce your own books using free and open source software. So what we're doing is I'm starting with my draft of a science fiction novel, starting in LibreOffice, and we are going to just keep going until we are done and have an ebook completely produced. Should take about an hour or two. So if you guys want to catch up, I put the link to the channel there. Keep an eye out for the channel. I'll go ahead and post the live stream as soon as I can, and that's going to be scheduled tentatively 2:00 p.m. tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. So have a look at that, particularly if you're interested in authoring or writing, or if you're interested in free and open source software. We're going to be using LibreOffice and Sigil. So with that, we will catch you guys later. We will be doing a weekly news roundup tomorrow on this channel, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And hey, you know what? I don't even know what the news topics are going to be because I have a giant, massive articles, and nearly all of them have to do with the COVID crap. And I'm sick of hearing about it. I know you're sick of hearing about it. So I'm trying to isolate one section for the COVID crap over here, the most important stuff, and we're going to try and do non-COVID crap, but there's like nothing in privacy, which really concerns me because I think that these companies are still doing this stuff. It's just not making the news, but we have a boatload of business stuff as well. I'm just trying to figure out what in the world to do. So I don't know. But anyway, keep an eye out for that, and that information will be up. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we will catch you guys later.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Quint, you want to say bye today?
Bye. We said it at the same time.
Oh, okay.